Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Ether shows some weakness today together with Bitcoin. Mostly the altcoins are affected as well, quite strongly though. Ether not that much, but also broke out of the trend line to the downside that we talked about in the previous video. The overall assumption on this chart remains obviously unchanged. So we're still dealing here with a potential WXY structure on this chart, in which obviously this WXY is going to complete a wave 2. In the primary scenario, the price would still trend a little lower. I think that would look best and it counts best like that, even though it's a little bit uncertain what's happening exactly here in this region. But overall, if you look at the structure WXY, we already have 3 waves. We have a WXY, but this bit doesn't look quite finished yet. It could be though, as explained in case you're new in previous videos, in crypto sometimes when you get these liquidity events, the last waves that should actually happen are sort of to be found within one candle and you cannot identify them because everything happens so quickly. But ideally, we are going a little lower to, first of all, move with the last leg of the correction below that previous low. That's quite common, so we want to see that. And yeah, and it's just about counting the waves. It doesn't look very complete yet. Now again, that's just about, okay, maybe they are hidden within that huge candle. So again, it's not a very strong leaning that we have to go down low or anything. I'd be quite happy with that bottoming structure that we've seen here. We have 3 waves. But the thing is also in terms of, okay, let's assume this is indeed a wave 2 here, which is the expectation. Then the wave 2 would be extremely shallow, you know, just finishing way above the standard support zone for a wave 2. So normally the standard support for a wave 2 begins at the 38.2 retracement level, $2019. Normally it would even go a little lower to the 50% retracement level at 1912. So there are several levels, okay, levels of sentiment basically that typically lead to a corrector that typically the price would respond to in a wave 2. But if it doesn't even get there, I mean, normally already the 38.2 retracement level is a shallow wave 2. Now again, in a bullish market, we know that in crypto, everything might be a little bit different. So we have to adjust to that. Therefore, you know, I'm saying, okay, if the wave 2 is already over, it could be, but we need further evidence then to confirm that. At the moment, I'm not going to confirm it. And I show you what that means. So let's go to the 30-minute chart. There is a short-term bullish and a short-term bearish case here, scenario. In the short-term bearish one, which is what I prefer, and already earlier today, you know, been talking about that. You know, this is the preferred scenario: wave 1 down, wave 2 up, wave 3 down, wave 4 up, wave 5 down. And we're dealing with corrective sub-wave structures. So in this third wave, we have an A, B, C structure. And then the question is, has this C wave begun? We're going to zoom into that detail in a minute. But that move down should send us next to 2093, 2055, possibly 1994. And it would be further confirmed with a sustained break below, well, today's low and below yesterday's low. We haven't had that yet. So far, it's basically a little bit like a triple bottoming structure here. And in the yellow count, that's short-term bullish. I would assume that the wave 2 already finished. It has to be considered, but I'm not leaning towards it because of the reasons I mentioned in the beginning and because this looks quite messy. So wave 2 ideally still unfolding. Within wave 2, we're then dealing obviously with this structure here, and it could be that this B wave, yeah, possibly completed. If the B wave completed, then the idea would be that the C wave has started and it would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's short-term bearish. In the short-term bullish one, this is a leading diagonal. So, but it's very messy now, especially with the latest pullback. So that's why I think today's low, which went below yesterday's, even though it was not a very convincing break, it further emphasizes my primary scenario, the move to the downside. But still, it's very clearly a 3-wave move down only, so it could be that B wave pullback Again, it's a leading diagonal in the yellow count. 1, 2, A, B, C in wave 3, 4, 5. And that's what I need to see to really confirm that the wave 2 is bottomed. Okay, that's really what I need to see. I won't believe it really before that. And it's already a very messy structure, especially with that very deep B wave pullback. But it's not invalid. Now, the third wave should reach at least 2,331, ideally a little higher. Possibly it might touch here this ascending trend line. But that's only really if the yellow count really starts to move. But even then, I need to see still a 4 and a 5. So there's a lot of work to do to confirm the yellow count, which again would indicate that the white wave 2 already bottomed on Wednesday. Literally, this is just short-term noise. I mentioned it in the Bitcoin video. The market is very much in anticipation mode, very nervous, because of ETF and everything. So just be aware that in the coming days, also especially Monday, we can probably get a lot of volatility. That's my update about ETH. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.